If someone calls you and your first instinct is to stare at the screen in horror, you're not alone. But here's what most people don't know. Phone call anxiety isn't just about being shy. It's actually revealing something deeper about how your brain works. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some of the most successful people refuse to pick up the phone. Let's break it down. First, let's be honest. When your phone rings, do you feel a slight panic? Does your heart rate spike? Do you immediately think, what do they want? If you answered yes, you're part of a growing psychological pattern. And it's not weakness. It's called telephonophobia, or phone anxiety. But it goes deeper than that. Here's what's actually happening in your brain. When you receive a phone call, your amygdala activates. That's the part of your brain responsible for threat detection. Why? Because phone calls are unpredictable. You don't know what's coming. You can't prepare your response. You can't edit what you say. And for people who value control, this feels dangerous. Your brain literally treats it like a threat. So why do some people avoid calls more than others? Reason number 1. Performance anxiety. When you're on a call, you're performing in real time. No delete button. No time to think. Just raw, unfiltered you. And for perfectionists, that's terrifying. Reason number 2. Emotional energy. Phone calls require something texts don't. Immediate emotional labor. You have to regulate your tone. Manage the other person's emotions. Navigate awkward silences. It's exhausting. Reason number 3. Boundary issues. A phone call is an interruption. It demands your attention right now. And people who struggle with boundaries feel like they can't say no, so they avoid the situation entirely. Now here's where it gets interesting. Introverts avoid calls, right? Actually, not always. Some of the most introverted people love phone calls. Why? Because it's one-on-one, deep conversation, no small talk with multiple people. The real pattern is this. People who avoid phone calls often have high sensitivity to stimulation. Their nervous system gets overwhelmed faster, and phone calls are stimulation overload. You're processing tone, words, timing, and emotion all at once, with zero visual cues. Your brain is working overtime. Let's talk about something nobody wants to admit. If you grew up texting, your brain developed differently. You learn to communicate asynchronously. You process information better when you have time. You express yourself better in writing. This isn't bad. It's just different. But it means phone calls feel unnatural. Like someone asking you to write with your non-dominant hand. You can do it, but it takes more effort. Here's the uncomfortable truth. People who avoid phone calls often have control issues. Not in a bad way. But they need to manage their environment. A text message gives you power. You control when you respond. What you say. How you say it. A phone call strips that away. And that loss of control triggers anxiety. But wait, there's actually a hidden benefit to phone call anxiety. People who avoid phone calls tend to be more thoughtful communicators. They consider their words carefully. They don't speak impulsively. They value clarity over speed. This is a strength, not a weakness. The problem only comes when avoidance turns into isolation. So what do you do if this is you? First, understand this isn't a flaw. It's a nervous system response. Second, start small. Call people you trust. Let them know you're working on it. Third, prepare before important calls. Write down key points. Give yourself structure. Remember, you don't have to love phone calls. You just have to manage them. Here's what I want you to think about. In a world where everyone texts, the people who can handle phone calls have an advantage. They build deeper connections faster. They resolve conflicts more effectively. They stand out. So maybe the real question isn't why you avoid phone calls. Maybe it's this. What opportunities are you missing because you let fear decide for you? Comment below. Do you avoid phone calls, or am I the only one? Let's talk about it.